Let's talk about something that'll supercharge your Python powers: functions. Not just any functions. Today we're meeting the fantastic four function types. And no, not the superheroes, though these are just as powerful. We'll start with a review of the parts of a function. First, we have def, which is short for function. This is the keyword that starts our first line of code for a function, or the function definition. Next, we give the function a meaningful name. This is the function identifier or name. This function identifier must follow the identifier rules we learned when naming variables. Same rules apply. A function must always use parenthesis. Within the parenthesis, we can have 0 to multiple parameters. The number of parameters is only limited by computer memory. Typically, parameters are variables that store a common data type like integers, floats, booleans, or strings, but it can pass any data type. Advanced programmers can even pass other functions into their functions. Some important Python syntax includes adding a colon to the end of the function signature or first line of code in a function. When you do that in most IDEs like PyCharm, it will automatically indent your next line of code. Finally, we end the function with the return statement. A return statement is not found in every function. A function can run code without returning anything. However, most functions return one value. This value is returned to the say line of code that calls it. Typically, that value is stored in a variable assigned to save the value returned. Let's watch how this might work. In this code, the function is stored in memory, but this code does not start working until line 6. On line 6, the variable thing will store the value from the function fantastic. To get that answer, fantastic must be run. The code jumps up to line, taking with it the integer 4. The function now has the value 4 stored into a variable named num. That's a great name since it offers a hint to the programmer to use a number, and you don't have to type BER. Next, 4 times 4 is calculated and stored in a variable named result, another great variable name common in functions. Last, the keyword return tells the function to return to the line that called it the value in the variable result. The value within result, in this case the integer 16, is returned to line 6, the line that called the function. The variable named thing now has the value integer 16. On line 7, we print the value of thing, which is 16. Here's the deal. Every function in Python falls into one of 4 types, based on 2 simple questions. Does it take parameters, aka input? Does it return a value, aka output? Type 1, no parameters, no return. This one's easy. It shows up, says hello, and leaves. Doesn't ask questions, doesn't bring gifts. To call this function, simply type fantastic, no arguments allowed, because you didn't create any parameters. You still provide the open parenthesis and close parenthesis in both the function definition and function call. Type 2 takes parameters, no return. This one's shy. It takes in a parameter but doesn't return anything. This function takes action, but it doesn't return a value to the code that called it. In order to work, the function call must have an argument or value between the parentheses. The function definition must have a variable ready to store the value to be used in the function body. Type 3, no parameters, but returns a value or rarely multiple values. This one doesn't need input. It's confident and not flexible. You get what you get and don't have a fit. You don't need any parameters in the function signature, just empty parenthesis. You do need something new, a variable to store the return value of the function. In this example, thing will store the value returned from the function. The function fantastic, as defined in this example, returns its value into the variable thing. And when we print thing, the string for, F-O-U-R, will be displayed. Type 4 takes parameters, returns a value, or rarely multiple values. This one's the most used function, the Swiss Army knife of functions, and so darn popular. It takes input, does the function magic you code, then returns output. In this example, total gets fantastic in parenthesis. The integer 4, the function fantastic, takes in a variable value provided by the code that called it, in this case, the integer 4. The function does its magic and squares the num provided. The keyword return returns to the code that called it the value 16. The print statement prints the value of total, which in this case is 16. And C, every time you write a function, just ask yourself, do I need input? Do I need to return something? If you can answer those, you'll always choose the right function type. Your code will be cleaner, smarter, and way more fun to read. So go forth and use the fantastic 4 functions wisely. Full disclosure, this lecture uses an AI avatar I created with HeyGen. My intention was to be able to work faster creating content. Creating the content this way took much longer. However, the content is of much higher quality as everything within this video was carefully curated.